My name is Garnet Mae. I've served with the Australian Scouting Association, I've climbed to the summit of Mount Fuji and walked the Sumerian Gorge. Now my challenge is to parachute into King's Cross. Hundreds of thousands of visitors come here each year to experience the adrenaline rush of the city. What they don't know is how quickly it can turn deadly. I'm going to show you the skills you need to survive out here. It's the holiday season in King's Cross, and that means summer. Temperatures can reach as high as 100 degrees in the shade. It's incredibly hot in the cross in the summer, and these clothes are going to be dry in no time at all. I'm going to need to get out of this sun, and fast. Now, a great way to find your direction in the cross is with this little iPhone app called Compass. You give it a little shake like this, it does a little GPS reading, and I can see that east is directly that way. Now, I know we're in Sydney, and the coast is east of Sydney, so if I keep heading east, I'm going to get to the coast. Unfortunately, I didn't charge my iPhone last night, and it wasn't long before I ran out of batteries. The bottom line is, most people that get lost in the cross lose their phone and other valuables earlier in the night, so it's going to be the same for me. To the untrained eye, the cross all looks the same, so it's easy to get lost. 2 years ago, a popular Sydney DJ was found unconscious in a park not far from here. It's all too easy to wind up in the same manner if you don't take precautions. I've been walking around the cross now for hours and hours, and I just can't seem to find my way out of this concrete jungle. I need to get up high to get some perspective over it. I need to find my bearings as quickly as I can. I'm going to climb the biggest tree I can find to see if I can get a glimpse over the endless array of buildings and apartments. Well, I'm up about as high as I can get, and I still can't see over those buildings. I'm going to have to try another technique. The cross may look harmless, and by day it's fairly safe. But when the sun drops over the horizon and nightlife sets in, it's a whole other story. One of the keys to survival is not to stand out from the crowd. Don't look people directly in the eye, but don't look scared either. That'll attract the wrong sort of attention. It's usually very rare to come across a couple mating in public, but in the cross, it's a regular occurrence. This is amazing. Try not to disturb. If you're careful and a little bit game, you can use these situations to your advantage.
This is great for two reasons. One, it means I'm practicing safe sex. And two, I'm really hungry. It may sound surprising, but semen has more protein pound for pound than chicken or beef. Oh, that tastes like the worst semen I've ever tried. Oh, but it's really good for me.
Unfortunately, I would have to drink the equivalent of a can of soda's worth of semen to be satisfied. I need to find some more food if I'm going to make it through the night. This is great. Normally I wouldn't eat this sort of food. Because it's been partially digested, most of the bacteria has probably been absorbed by this man's stomach, so it's safe to eat. Tastes a little bit weird, has a very high alcohol content, but apart from that, it's really good. Well, it's been a long night and I'm getting really tired. One of these little alcoves would make a perfect place to stay for the night. I'm going to look for some cardboard boxes just to pad out the place. It may look thin, but this is actually going to be a great night's sleep. Now this is an ideal place to sleep. I don't know if you can hear that generator, but there's a warm current coming from under this door. That'll keep me warm all night, and I should get a great night's sleep. It's about 5 a.m. I've had a few good hours sleep. It's time to get out of here. It is getting incredibly hot in the Australian sun, and I really need some protection. Now, fortunately, I still have the condom from last night. What a lot of people don't know is that semen, as well as being nutritious, also has a really high SPF factor, around 25. Ugh. It smells as bad as it tastes. But it's really good sun protection. really going to need to find some money to get out of this place. Now, one way is by taxi. That's going to take a bit of cash, and if it's after midnight, forget about it, you won't get one. The other way is if you're really, really desperate, public transport. You're still going to need some money. Now, a good way to do it is by looking in these telephones. Sometimes people leave their change in there. Other people are onto that trick though, so we need to try something else. If, like me, you have to resort to begging, there are some do's and don'ts. Make sure you don't set up camp too close to another beggar, and take your time to find a good spot. I tried setting up outside this methadone clinic, but was moved on pretty quickly. Finally, write an amusing message on a piece of cardboard. The public are much more inclined to give you money if you can make them smile.
Now, a couple of good ideas when you're begging is to get really low to the ground. Look as impoverished as possible. Not a bad idea to set up next to an ATM machine as well. Don't be afraid to ask. Spare some change, mate? Just trying to get out of the cross. This could take a while. Spare some change?
I got 90 cents. I think it's just enough to get me out of here on the bus. The cheapest bus fare is actually $2, but fortunately another passenger let me use their travel tent. Surviving in King's Cross was definitely a lot tougher than I thought, and for me, it is definitely time to go home.